Coming in at number 20 on our Locked On Senators NHL Draft rankings, we're sticking in the CHL, but we're getting another European, Samuel Honzek from the Vancouver Giants, a big left winger.
Ross, it is so appropriate that Samuel Honzek plays for the Giants. This kid is huge. I mean, I've got him at 6'4", 185 pounds. He can play center, he can play the wing, and he has experience over in Europe in pro leagues. He in 2020, 2021, he had 5 games in the Slovakia League, and then last season he played 49 games in the pro league in Slovakia and finished with 10 goals and 4 assists, good for 14 points, and then played 4 playoff games there as well. So it's not like this is a guy that is uncomfortable playing up against men. Now, obviously, the Slovakia League, one of the lower competition level leagues over in Europe, and that's not a slight against them. It's just kind of where they're at right now. But Samuel Honzek he's right on that prospect train of Slovaks that this is becoming a country that is becoming powerful when it comes to top-end talents in hockey.
Yeah, well, good thing, because the NHL was better when Slovaks were a huge part of it in the early to mid-2000s. The Charas, the Hosas, the Gabricks, the Dimitras, the list goes on and on. Ziggy Palffy, they need it back. And first and second overall last year with Slavkovsky and Nemec, both very good. And this is already our second Slovak on this year's list, as we've already done Dalibor Dvorsky as well. Samuel Honzek is a bit different than most of those guys outside of Slavkovsky. You can draw the immediate comparable of both being imposing figures. But I think when you look at Samuel Honzek, you're looking at a guy who drives the play, I think, better than Slavkovsky. At least I know Slavkovsky, it's harder to evaluate just off of what we saw in the NHL as an 18-year-old with not much help on his team. But Honzek, man, he's the kind of winger who wants the puck on his stick. And that's why, like you said, maybe he's a centerman long-term. But I do think that even if he's a winger, he could be that big left shot kind of guy barreling down the wing. And I think a guy who's going to get a lot of assists off of kind of big play drives and kind of throwing the puck in the middle and then allowing kind of your rebound to get whacked in. But man, not afraid of the dirty areas, and a guy who I really think is going to be a valuable piece to an NHL franchise.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. And the one thing that I highlighted about Samuel Honzek on my research is this guy is a premium puck protector, especially in junior. Like, good luck to the defenseman trying to get the puck off this stick or attacking forecheckers or anything like that. Like, there's just no chance. And he's one of those guys where in junior, if he wants to get to an area of the ice, you're not stopping him. Like, he's just going to get there and he's going to beat you. And he wins those puck battles more often than not. And I just think for a guy his size, he's winning those puck battles. He's a good skater for his size. He can kill penalties. I think this is a really safe pick for an NHL team. Now, it may take him a little while to crack into the pros, but once he gets there, I think once he's ready, he's not going to bounce up and down. I think once he gets there, he's going to stick.
And a prospect that Corey Pronman is super excited about, 13th on Corey Pronman's list, 19th for Chris Peters, 20th for Elite Prospects, 22nd for Craig Button, and Scott Wheeler, the lowest on him at 25. The average rank is 19.8. And I want to read a little bit from Corey Pronman, because you look at the guy who he's highest on, and he sees it as the pro projection is why he's so high on Samuel Honzek, because he sees those attributes that you mentioned. And that's why I put that scouts love him, because they can easily see a world where he comes into their lineup and continues the ascent that he has. His game with the size, with the puck protection, it just suits North America better. The wide ice in Europe, and you could tell he might got lost on it a little bit sometimes, but here it's chip it into his corner, let him kind of go back and forth with the D-man, battle it out, and then he has the vision and IQ that he's able to make plays off of that. So I'm a huge fan of Samuel Honzek. I think for Story, I would love, Vancouver to take him just to keep him in Vancouver, but I think he's probably closer to like the Calgary, the Winnipeg, like the late in the teens. I think that's where we probably see Samuel Honzek come out off the board.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it was a great move for him. I'm not sure how he ended up in Vancouver, what that process was like, comparing junior leagues or who drafted him or how that all went down. But I think the WHL was the perfect spot for him to land in North America because unlike the OHL and the Q in college, in the WHL, you really have to flex your physical might. That is a tough, hard, grinding league. And he's able to go in there and show, hey, I got no problem playing over here. And I think coming over to North America from Slovakia at this time in his development was the right choice.
He was the 10th overall pick in the CHL import draft. Now get this. He was the 10th pick. Pilsy. He was the 5th Slovak. So the Slovaks.
Oh my God. Wow.
The Slovaks are back in a big way. For sure. So as we look with Samuel Honzek, pro projection, a guy who I think be patient with him. First year in North America, but this guy is going to be an impactful player, not only in the regular season, but he's a guy, Pilsy, that you can really look at in the playoffs and be like, okay, he's going to be a difference maker for us when the games matter the most.
Yep, I agree. I've got a lot of faith in Samuel Honzek here. I got him at 4 out of 5 stars. I like this kid.
Ooh, there you have it. Samuel Honzek coming in at number 20 on the Locked On Senators NHL Draft Rankings. For more draft rankings, head over to YouTube at Locked On Senators.